Hey, Motorman here, and I'm going to put up a class video and I'm going to point out the mistakes the riders are making, and I'm betting those mistakes be the same mistakes that you'd be making at the class or possibly out on your own practice or out on the street. So pay close attention. I think this is going to be very helpful. This is exercise number 2 in the Ride Like a Pro class. It's called the offset cone weave. It duplicates a severely winding road where you have to transition your motorcycle quickly from left to right, right to left. And this rider practiced prior to getting to the class. He got my video and he's doing it perfectly. Now let's watch this rider. He starts off okay, gets nice and close to the green tip cone as I told him to do. Then he misses this one by 6 or 7 feet, and he doesn't turn his head to the right quick enough, so he misses the next gate. Very common. As the riders get more comfortable with the exercise and are able to complete it correctly, I start adding circles to the first 2 turns. So it's a complete circle to the left and a complete circle to the right in the next gate. We call it a gate because between the green and the orange cone, you have to pass through it. Now this rider is very good. He's practiced prior to getting here. In fact, I even tell him that he no longer needs the rear brake. Remember, it's head and eyes, friction zone, and then the rear brake. The rear brake is just a little helper. The better you are at the clutch and throttle, the less rear brake you need, and eventually you need no rear brake at all. Try no brake. Notice the difference with this rider. He's turning his head very slowly trying to find that green cone, and his circles are gigantic. The faster and further you turn your head and eyes, the sooner you look for that green cone, which you won't be able to see till you get about halfway around. But the faster you find it, the smaller your circles, the tighter your circles will be. Turn your head in slow motion, and yeah, your turns are going to be really big. Same thing with this rider. Turns his head slowly, and of course his circles are huge. Now he'll make an additional mistake here. As he goes through this gate, he's wanting to make a circle, but he straightens up the bike first. That makes his circle, just gigantic. You straighten up the bike won't turn. Got to lean the motorcycle if you want it to turn. And the reason we do so many circles in this class is because it forces you to use your head and eyes properly. That's the most important thing out on the road. Turn your head and eyes and look only where you want to go. Once the riders get familiar with the offset cone weave and the circles there, we add the intersection. That's a intersection, 4-leaf clover, iron cross, whatever you want to call it. It's a series of U-turns. It also helps with the transition because you got to make a right to get into the lake prior to making the left-hand U-turn. Again, the faster and further you turn your head and eyes, the better. Let's watch this rider go into the first leg. He should get all the way to the green tipped cone. He misses it by 3 or 4 feet. That narrows the space, and then he looks at the cone he doesn't want to hit, almost hits it, goes on the wrong side of the road. Can't make that right turn tight enough, so he goes outside of the exercise altogether. Now watch these 2 riders. This is what it should look like. Gets really close to the green tip cone, leans the bike, snaps his head and eyes. Same thing with this rider. By the way, that's father and son, and they practice on their own. Notice this rider's foot is not even on the brake, and he's not at the stage where he could eliminate the use of the rear brake because his clutch and throttle is so good. His clutch and throttle still needs a lot of work, as his head and eyes, and he needs a little pressure on that rear brake. Eventually, of course, all the riders get better, and they're able to go through the exercise with a minimal of errors. Some riders, like the one I just showed you, still aren't using the rear brake, and the rear brake is a helper. If you're not really good with the clutch and throttle, you still need a little light, steady pressure on the rear brake. Watch this.
Don't look there.
Still no rear brake usage. I could lead him to the water, but I can't force him to drink.
Stay on your own side of the road.
Most riders in the class, at the end of the class, turn out to be at least 2 to 3 times more skillful than when they started. Some of them only 100% better. In fact, every rider here became 100% better, but some 2 to 3, even 400% better than when they started. Just a matter of practicing the correct techniques. And this month's special, if you want to learn these techniques correctly and be able to practice on your own prior to coming to a class, get yourself the Ride Like a Pro book, the Ride Like a Pro Experience video, and Surviving the Mean Streets video on USB, over 2 hours of instructions, plus the practice guide, a Ride Like a Pro patch, and a reflective helmet sticker for $59.90.